What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low bet? Happy July 1st to all of you. Those of you north of the border or south, happy Canada Day to you. Happy Canada Day to you. Ketchup, chip-eating, maple syrup swallowing Canucks. What a time to celebrate Canada. Weed is legal, and the Raptors are NBA champions. Go out there and celebrate. Go out there and celebrate. I'm celebrating just being here with you guys, starting another week of betting with the bag. Thank you guys so much for watching. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. That is what makes our show special, is these guys here. Vinny Cornell in there says, on Drew's Saturday show, I released a sausage selection. Yankees team total over 5.5. That won in the first inning. Sausage now 8-2. Attaboy, Vinny. There's our guy, Matt Randall. Man, nice. Matt Randall says, glad to be back from a few days off. This show and all of you have been a huge part of my life every day. When I'm not able to make a show, I truly do miss it and how we all work together. Good, Matt Randall. What a guy. What a guy. Man, the taint play of the day has become a huge hit in sausage selection. Sausage and Alex Ramirez, Spidey play of the day. We got not applicable shit the bet of the day. We got a whole bunch of special plays of the day led by our guy, Matt Randall. Matt Randall, that's just a wonderful way to start our week. Matt Randall, our guy. Cobra Sports says, coming off a strong weekend, let's keep it up. We got Spencer Hicks. Jeremiah Grigo in the house says, nailed the Yankee live game money line when they were down 4-2. Attaboy, Jeremiah. Paco Healy in the house. Paco Healy starting his Monday morning, 8:03 in San Diego. Shout out to our guy, Paco Healy. Matt Randall, Paco Healy. What a group. Tomarino Tomor says, I still think Kawhi stays with Toronto, but Iguodala headed to LA. LA has to look appealing to him. Well, we'll see what happens. The fight analyst in the house said, cash that bet on Maya. Great job, fight analyst. We got Robbie Thompson. We got Shadow. Shadow, I know, Shadow, I went up against you. I did not want to do it, but when I saw the late market move going towards the under, it's what I wanted to do. And so I'm 5-2 now in CFL. We got a CFL game now. We have a small schedule, just 6 MLB games, but 1 CFL game. So let's just keep cashing. Paco Healy says, leaning Padres under. Looking forward to hashing it out. Love it. Fred 179 says, Africa Cup of Nations, Senegal. Nice, Senegal. Guru Sportsbet said 8 plays of the day in a row. Unbelievable. And America ready for UFC this week. We got Jay Stanley Sports. What a great group. What a group. DMX 93. Says Jimmy Toronto. Yes, DMX 93. I'll be heading up to Toronto next week. Next week over the MLB All-Star break. Tomor says Lakers so dysfunctional. Matt Johnson, who just left the team, is the person it's being reported is communicating with Kawhi's camp. Ridiculous. Pie Guy says ketchup chips are my life. Yes. Yes, ketchup chips are delicious. They're delicious. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk? Paco Healy, Jim Rome's a douche, Carlos Perot, Eddie Euler, Jason Torgy, Ray Williams in the house. What a group. Jeff Jones said, not a great plate day for me. One didn't fire. My play horse got mugged right at the start. We live to play another day. Yeah, let's just get to Saratoga. Been a rough weekend. Paco Healy, a rough summer for me in with the horses. Paco Healy says, Big Boss contest starts. That's right. The DJ Big Boss contest starts today. And we're all in it. And if you're not in it, get in it, because there'll be a lot of bragging rights. We're going to go over who's leading and what. And a lot of talk about the contest. So please go on. It's very easy. Go to contest, sportsbookreview.com. Go to the contest. And right there, you'll see DJ Big Boss contest. And so, yeah, make sure you have a profile. That's all you need is a profile. And get in, and get after it. Get in and get after it. Thank you for reminding us. There's Ron Crawford in the house. There's DJ Big Boss. Speaking of him, Clarence Souza says New York, New York. Dave Paddock in the house. We got Dave Burke. There he is. Dave Burke says, happy candidate, low bag fam. Let's get that cash, baby. Dave Burke, my guy, up north. Happy candidate to you, my friend. What a guy. I love Dave Burke. Dave, I'm coming up next week. We've got to hang out. Let me come. Dave Burke, incredible stand-up comedian. I'd love to come and check out a show of yours, Dave. Young Hoss ready to get to action. All right, well, Let's get to work. One thing we've done very, very well on these small cards is deep dive into all of them. Not that we get overwhelmed with the bigger cards. It's just we've been very successful with these smaller cards of late, and I look forward to hammering it. Tormino says, I think there's good value in WNBA, betting Phoenix at 12-1. 12-1 to win the WNBA championship. Taurasi should be back soon, and Phoenix is a contender when she's healthy. That is a very good point, Tomor. I think that is a good call. It seems like it's wide open. I mean, the Mystics look very strong, but I'm going to hammer that right now. Let me go here. Bang, bang. There we go. Book it. Jeff Joseph said, Jimmy, will you be up here for next weekend? Would love to hang a Woodbine. So would I, Jeff Joseph. We need to connect. And I for some reason, I don't know if I don't believe you're on Twitter, but that's the best way for me to get your info so I can holler at you. So let's definitely stay in touch, Jeff. All right. There's Dave Alley starting with the Jays on the run line. That is our afternoon baseball game. Let's start right there. But before we do, I made a little change on the Sunday night baseball unders. I took the first 5 under just because bullpens are such trash these days. And still with an error and some mistakes, they got to 5 runs. So I lost the Sunday nighter. I didn't have a very good day Friday, but ended up barely down. But with Sunday's loss, it's an ugly record. It's an ugly record that I have to show every day, which is difficult. Rafa, baseball record. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. All right. There it is. Jesse Daly says, Happy Canada Day. Yo, thank you, Jesse Daly. Christopher Comentini says, I like Alzolay. Alzolay starting for the Cubbies today. We're going to go over that. And let's start with this Royals-Jays baseball game. Here, Royals 13-30. This is one of the very few times at the Sky Dome there will be an audience. Jays are 15-26 at home and have been playing better. Shadow says, took Toronto plus, I believe that's 110 or 111. I'm not sure exactly what that is. Plus 11. And leaning full. Oh, sorry. You're talking about the Argos. Argos. Sorry, Shadow. Took Toronto plus 11. Leading full game under 52 in tonight's CFL game. I am definitely leaning under. And we're going to hit that hard in this show. But Shadow, I'm definitely leaning under. We're going to go over that. There's Juan Ruiz in the house. Okay. Eric Jones said, Jimmy, chat, what up? Let's get time to get this cash. Let's get after it. Oh, and Thomas says, I think the Mystics are the best team right now, but not by a big margin. And Della Don has a lot of injuries. I like your look. Tomar. All right. Let's go. 76 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour, out to right field. We have Glenn Sparkman. Looks like a major league pitcher at home, is trash on the road. 2-2 with a 2.19 ERA at home. A bet-on pitcher at home. 0-1 with a 7.85 ERA on the road. Did not factor in the decision Tuesday. Allowed 3 home runs, 5 runs, 7 hits, and 5 2/3 against the Indians. Royals won that game late. And going up against Clayton Richard. Who everybody wants to fade. Clayton Richard, making his 8th start of the season, will be going for his first win as a Blue Jay. It hasn't faced the Royals since 2015. I'm not going to bother talking about those stats because they're useless. Pie Guy says, I love the way the Jays are hitting lately, but Clayton Richard. All right, let's take a look at the lineups and let's take a look at the market moves. First off, Jays open up at minus 118. They're now big favorites at minus 142. That is a 24-cent move towards the Toronto Blue Jays. And I'll tell you one thing I will never do is I will never take the Toronto Blue Jays as a favorite. But Dave LA's taking them on the run line, still getting a plus number beside them, which is what you must get when you're dealing with this shit baseball team. All right, let's take a look at totals. Because I'm telling you, I mean, if Sparkman wasn't so bad on the road, total open up at 10, now 10.5. 10.5. I mean, these bullpens are bad, but can you trust these offenses is the question. Chris Postal says, today's my birthday, Jimmy. I'm giving you guys the play of the day, the dot of the day. Pound the Blue Jays, says Chris Postal. First off, Chris, happy birthday to you, my man. Huge asset to our team here. Love having you in the chat with your insights. Man, there's Chris Postal. Happy birthday, our guy, Chris. Man. Ralph Parwano, Toronto under 10.5. I don't hate that at all. It's a tricky spot. With these pitchers that are below average, but against offenses that are soft. Let's talk about the Jays. Sogard, Guerrero Jr., Gurriel, Biggio, Grichuk, Tellez, Hernandez, Galvis, Danny Jansen. For the Royals, Merrifield, Lopez, Nicky Lopez, man, the guy is hitting since he's come up from AAA. Alex Gordon, Dozier. Dozier's had a great season. Soler hits the ball hard. Cuthbert, Artiega, Maldonado, and Hamilton. Eddie Orler buying down to the 10, getting that going over 10 at minus 125. Christopher Comentini says Jay's team totals 5.5. Gas Station Sushi said, I told you all to fade Bulgogi Larry on Friday. You did, Gas Station Sushi, and you were correct. Rich G says, Langwood Clayton Richard is not something I'm interested in. It's not something I'm interested in. Eddie Orler says, Pavelski expected to sign with Dallas Stars. Wow, but where's Jamie Benn going to go? Wow, Eddie. And by the way, if you're wondering what I think about the Tyler Myers signing by the Canucks, I don't like it. I don't like it. All right. Bye, guys. He calls them below average. So kind to those bums on the mound. Guru says below average is a compliment for those two. Look, at this point, with the market move, I would prefer to back the Royals. Why is Sparkman so bad on the road? Do you want to go against Chris Postal's birthday play or Dave Allay's play? And there's Matt Randall. Taint play today. Brewers money line. Let's Bonilla the bookmakers. Matt Randall's taint play today is in. Eddie Oler saying Corey Perry also expected to sign with the Stars. I mean, who is Corey Perry these days? I mean, what is he to your lineup? I don't see how he could be a top 6 forward. I mean, I guess you could play him on the power play second unit. And Merrick says, Jimmy, did you see who my Yotes picked up? Of course I did. Old Fatty. Fatty, unbelievably, Phil Kessel, has the 8th longest Ironman streak in the NHL. And that comes up. Is he durable? As my friend Rob Pugh says, he's timid, not durable. You know what, Anna Merrick? They used to talk about how Rick Tocchet could whisper into Kessel's ear and get him playing. If Rick Tocchet is the Kessel whisperer, you guys need offense badly, and Fatty will give it to you. So, I don't know. It's I don't want him on my team. I don't want him on my beer league team. I don't want him in my dressing room eating hot dogs, making us all fatter by just staring at him. Okay, let's stay focused here. My fault. Optimus Prime says, KC Toronto game is a pass for me. Eddie Oler says, Tocchet likes Kessel. Yeah, and Tocchet, man. Tocchet knows what he's doing. Tocchet knows what he's doing. I mean, Tocchet and Gretzky got Gretzky's wife busted for the gambling ring. I mean, how genius do you have to be if you can get your wife to take the fall for your gambling? I mean, that's just spectacular work. Okay, there's Von Polo. Von Polo, our guy, new father-to-be. Says, I had a great weekend in Delaware Park. I just wish they didn't take the machines from upstairs. The sports book should be bigger. Oh, yeah, interesting. I'm looking forward to check out Delaware Park. But Von Polo says, but I will be at Delaware Park this weekend for the big UFC card, and I need to bet the Washington Mystics on Friday night. There's Don Corleone ready to get to work. That big boy bet on Friday, Detroit game under. Beautiful. Spencer Hicks shouting out Delaware Park. I love that you guys are all hanging out. Pie Guy says, as a Penguins fan, I'm so happy he's gone. I get it. No, Anna Merrick, he does not go on diets. You just got to let Phil Kessel be Phil Kessel. Just let him eat, It's different like when Vladimir Krutov came from Russia and he saw the size of our sausages. He was no longer in the NHL in a year and a half. Kessel's different. Let the man eat his sausage. The man do his thing. He just how he is. Eddie Oler saying, Duchesne expected to sign with Nashville. Why didn't Nashville make the trade for him at the trade deadline? What they needed was a center who could set up the power play because their power play was terrible, but we should stay focused on MLB right now. Oh, did I say dressing room? Damn, I said dressing room. Okay, my fault. I'm trying to say locker room. I know what you guys think goes on in dressing rooms, but that's how we were raised. I'm sorry. My fault. Okay. Yes, Anna Merrick, we're on for Thursday if that works for you. Lamont Williams, max bet, San Francisco Giants, San Diego, under 8, and he likes the Cubs on the money line. Okay, sorry, you guys. I digress. We got to talk about this Jays Royals game. I'm telling you, it just makes me very uncomfortable. It just makes me uncomfortable. Okay, one thing I'm not going to do, as I said, I'm not going to take the Jays as a favorite. So let's take a look at how the Royals will hit Richard. The Royals are hitting 235, 674 OPS versus lefties. Jays have a little bit more power, a little bit lower average against righties. Who would you trust with sample size wise? So 31 in the third innings, Richard's already allowed 8 home runs, and he's walking a batter every second inning. I'd have to say, I'm sorry. Oh, Eddie always says, poor Krutov, Larry have abandoned him. No, man. You can't. If you come home every day and your roommate just got nachos from the 7-Eleven and he's got cheese dip dripping down his face, you just got to let go. You just got to let go. Poppy Longwood liking Haiti to cover the spread. Tomar said I wouldn't lay minus 140 versus, I guess if you think, where's the value? I guess I would say the value's on. One thing about Clayton Richard is he seems to step up sort of against better opposition. He looked fine against the Yankees. Let's just go over his game log quickly. Go over his game log. We're going to be joined by Drew Martin here in about 28 minutes. Let's just go over his game log and then make a decision. Here we go. Let's get the game log up here. Clayton Richard. I mean, you got to think that just a Royals team total over would be in business. So at New York, he looked good last start. I mean, 8 hits and allowed just 3 solo shots. He seems to pitch better when more important situations. He seems to pitch better when men are on base. Then at Houston, 5 earned runs. At home, Arizona destroyed him, but we know Arizona smashes lefties and the Royals don't. Joseph Gomez, my man Joseph Gomez says to me, taking the crying game shower after the show. Okay, all right. If that helps you feel better. Lanil, my man Lanil says, taint not on KC, no. Dave LA says, Jays have better bats than the Royals. This game has bad pitchers from start to end. Yeah. Matt Randall says, I see runs here. Flip money in the house. Flip money. Rich G says, if I had to make a play on the Jays Royals, I'd be on first 5 over 6. You're starting off your week, you're starting off your Monday, and you want to have a winner under your belt. And to me, it's like it's a Royals or nothing. But Chris Postal thinks the Jays are going to... Look, the Jays are going to be excited to play. There's going to be an audience. Joe Anissa says, I'm coming for all y'all in the Big Boss SBR contest. Love hearing that. King Capo says, Orioles and Pirates both plus money dogs. My guy Topset in the house. Amp for Wimbledon. Topset smashes tennis. Keep an eye on him. Pie Guy Jay's team total over if I had to make a play. All right, I'm not... Let's see if Drew wants to talk about that game. I'm not forcing any action on it to start the day. Just not going to. And there's Seuss 387. Aloha, guys. What's a Hawaiian gooch punch of the day? I don't like the card today. Seuss. We're going to work on it. But love having you on this show, Seuss. Matt Randall says, if you like the first 5 over 6, then you have to like the full game over. Both pens are questionable. I agree. Christopher Kaiser likes the first 5 under 6. I guess I would lean towards that. 76 Fahrenheit, partly cloudy, 7 miles per hour out to right field. Now that we talk about it a little more, and we look at the teams that have smashed Clayton Richard, they're teams that hit lefties hard. I guess no, because the Angels hit them hard too. 4 earned runs. But the Angels are much better against lefties now. With Ohtani in line. We'll talk about the Angels in that spot. I can't trust them. I just can't trust them. Jim Rose Dush says Vesey to the Sabres. Some of these college guys, they just can't take that step from American college hockey to the NHL. Only the very best can, or the biggest. The guys are 6'2" to 6'5", because they can play third, fourth line minutes. Vesey's got to be a top 6. I'm not big on Vesey. All right. Vinny Cornell says, I wait until I really like something for the sausage selection. I respect that. Rod Sawacki says Jay's going under today. I guess I have a slight lean. Let's see what the first 5 total would be. First 5 totals at 6. Almost no movement. There's been a 5-cent move towards the under. Eddie Oil says Galchenyuk can get 40 playing on the Penguins. Can he? I don't think. I think Galchenyuk gets traded. I mean, how many franchises have to give up on you? He's just been disappointing throughout his whole career. Lamont Williams says, take KC money line. That's the play. I don't like. What is Crosby going to keep Galchenyuk from partying till 5 a.m? Top Set says, today starts SBR DJ Big Boss contest. Can't wait. I'm in love hearing that, Top Set. Eddie always says, I don't know how you can go under in this game with these garbage pitchers. I think Clayton Richard can slow. I mean, the Royals don't hit lefties. And Glenn Sparkman, why is he so bad? Okay, I know we're taking too long on this game. Let's just go back to Sparkman. Why is he being so bad on the road? Here we go. Glenn Sparkman. Take a look at his starts. At Cleveland, gets touched for 5 earned runs and 5 2/3. Look, he goes back. That's just a sign. I can't take an under with Sparkman. He just gets destroyed on the road. He's played at Minnesota, so he's at Target. He allows 4 earned runs in 5 innings. He sees that team again 5 days later, which should be bad for him, and he completely shuts them down at home. Pie Guy says, Jimmy, you could get 20 goals playing with Crosby. Crosby demands responsibility. You know, you can't just... It's not like Rob Brown playing with Lemieux. And if Galchenyuk's not going to play responsible... Now, I don't doubt that Galchenyuk will play better and step his game up with Crosby staring him in the face. Guru Sports Pet says, there's no play. This game is a clown show. Over or move on. Okay, well put. Okay, let's move on. Let's move on. Thank you, Guru. Guru going for winners and says move on. Okay, let's go. Cubs, Pirates, 85 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 4 miles per hour, out to right field. Remember, this Cubs team, just 16 and 23 on the road. Pirates, 17 and 19 at home. Adbert Alzolay, 1-0, 2.08 ERA, 0.92 whip, 8 2/3. He's looked good. He's looked good in the majors. He's looked good in AAA. 2-1, 3.09 ERA, 0.94 whip, 32 innings. Down in Iowa, 32 innings, 46 Ks, and 6 walks. I really find these pitchers that come up from AAA or AA, the ones with the high walk rate get destroyed. The ones who don't walk a lot of batters seem to have much better success. Trevor Williams has looked bad since coming off IR. Bad. Oh, Radio says, Rob, I bumped into him in Kamloops. Another fatty. Oh, I love it. I love it. Matt Reynolds said, Jimmy, off subject, but you're a hockey guy. Do you ever think we will see another guy like Vladimir Konstantinov in the league, or do you think anyone could or be that type of defender? Yes. Yeah, but remember, he came over. See, it'd have to be a European player. And though the guys like Konstantinov come over too early, when Konstantinov came over to the NHL, he was already the best defender in the league. What a guy. And so sad what happened to him. What an incredible, incredible defender. How many cups would they have won had that limo accident not have happened? Torino says, Williams has been horrible against left-handed hitters. Idling Cubs first 5. Williams hasn't been consistent. Let's take a look at the market move on this game. Here we go. Oh, that's first 5. Let's go to full game spreads and totals. All right. Cubbies open up at minus 115. They're now minus 117. A 2-cent move towards them. The under 9.5 was juiced before. Now the over 9.5 is juiced. So a 10-cent move towards the over. Von Po's saying I'm on the Orioles today. I'm looking forward to break that game down. Christopher Comtini says, yeah, Cubs. David Lay says, Cubs minus 118. Tormino says, I wouldn't bet Cubs full game. They probably won't want a young pitcher to throw deep, and their bullpen still sucks. Christopher Comtini says, the only issue is the Cubs bullpen, but they have Kimbrel now. So it's Alzolay's second start, third appearance. First Cubs pitcher since 1920 to pitch at least 4 innings and allow 1 or fewer hits. First career start, he gave up 1 hit, a leadoff homer, and then shut down the hot-hitting Braves. Did walk 4 batters. Pittsburgh's opening a 7-game homestand, and they've looked good. 3-5, 7-10, 9-14 since losing 7 straight. Williams, 11 runs he's given up since that returned from the IL with a right side strain. Most recently, allowed 4 runs, 8 hits, 6 2/3 against at Houston, which is a tough place to pitch. 2-4, 3.68 ERA in 8 career appearances, including 6 starts against the Cubs. There is our guy, Nutflush Allen in the house. Ralph put 1-0 on Cubs minus 120 in the over 9.5. Joe Kim talking about that Dodgers-Rockies game. Eddie Euler leaning something like Cubs first 5. Gary Horvath says, I lean Chicago first 5. I know that the Pirates bats have been raking, and we know that Alzolay is not going to go deep. So concerns. Frankie Martinez saying no one buying into the sharp move on the Jays. People here are Dave LA's on it on the run line. Chris Postal's on it. Birthday as his birthday play of the day, and it's his birthday. Also, Lamont Williams going up against it. Back-to-back starts, Guru. In his first 2 appearances. Oh, actually, not even starts. First 2 appearances with the Cubs. So it can be a start, coming in long relief. But yes, the first Cubs pitcher and only the 3rd major league pitcher in the history of MLB. The first Cubs pitcher since 1920 to pitch at least 4 innings and allow 1 or fewer hits in each of his first 2 appearances. Eddie Euler saying Pirates under 3 in a row. Nutflush Allen says over in Pittsburgh. Viper MB says Cubs keep flushing money away. I'm not backing them until they get hot and string together wins. I am interested in that over. Sure. Some interest. Nutflush Allen liking the over. Thank you, Gary Horvath, my friend. Thank you. Very proud of the country of late. Making weed legal and then winning the NBA championship. Proud. Eddie Euler leaning Royals and over, but my Blue Jays picks have sucked this season. Okay, I have interest in the Cubs first 5. We've got a lot of time to sit with these games. We're going to have Drew coming with us. And I find that interesting that Nutflush has been really following these Pirate bats at home. And he knows what he's talking about. He's got numbers to back up his play there, which would be the over. So I'm just going to write Nutflush on the over. And I'm interested in the Cubs first 5. Pie Guy says Pittsburgh couldn't hit Davies yesterday. Cubs are nobody. Eddie Euler saying sunny and warm in Pittsburgh. And there's Red Girl in the house. Thank you for joining us. Nutflush Allen says lefty numbers add up. Left-handed bats. Cubs are hitting 256, 792 OPS versus righties. Pirates are hitting 268, 766 OPS versus righties. And Chicago's lost 5 consecutive road series. 5 consecutive. All right. Okay, so I'll just leave that as a lean. We got another 15 minutes of working without Drew. Then Drew's going to come and we're going to hammer these games. And then we got to talk CFL. Orioles, Rays. Now, is it confirmed that it's not Bundy? Yes, Eshelman. Thank you. Eshelman, 25 years old, 2-5. This is between AA and AAA this year. 2-5, 4.46 ERA, 1.35 WHIP, 74 2/3, 60 Ks, 17 walks. So there he's got a nice low walk rate. But look at that, 11 home runs. 11 home runs he's allowed in AA and AAA. And the Rays going with that Stanek-Yarbrough combination. Rays went 13-16 in June, but won 3 of their final 4 games. Stanek 0-1 with a 4.76 ERA in 10 games, 5 career starts against the Orioles. The Orioles beat the Indians back-to-back 13-0 and then lost 2-0. Baltimore became the first team in MLB history. Can you believe this? The first team in Major League history to win back-to-back games by a shutout while also scoring 13 or more runs. The Orioles, the 24-59 Orioles. Unbelievable. Let's check out the market moves here with Orioles, Rays. Let's go to full game. My fault. Full game, money lines and totals. Orioles, Rays. So the total opens at 8.5. It's now at 9. The Rays open at -250, and there's been a 5-cent move towards them. JEM says, what do you guys think of the Jays team total over 5.5? JEM, there's been people supporting it. It's people supporting the over. And there's going to be a big crowd there for one of the few times all year. Lanil, my man Lanil says, Illinois legalized bud. Cubs used to lose every Monday. And Lanil's on +105. Says Cubs will lose. Cubs will lose. On Point Wagers, Pirates team total over, and I'll be at the game to catch it live. Wow. Shout out to On Point Wagers. Pie Guy liking the Rangers today. Dion Davis liking Rays first 5. Viper MB saying Rangers is the best play on the card today. Maybe it is with Mike Minor on the hill. It might be. Wow. Von Polo. Can you talk to us more about why you like the Orioles here in this spot? Mark True says, how you feel about Rays run line, Padres run line, parlay? But I'm not on it, J.M. But we've talked about Sparkman's numbers on the road. They're just atrocious. They're so bad. So he should probably get touched. You know, maybe the Jays early is an interesting spot. But do you want to back Clayton Richard? Ugh. Eddie Euler saying Rangers San Diego parlay. Robbie Top saying San Diego San Fran under seems tempting. Yes, it did, Linnell. Man, you're cashing. I don't think I'm not noticing. All right. The only way to... So I do think the Rays are going to go on a little run here. I do think the Rays are going to go on a little run here. But it's just difficult to make money with these big favorites. And Yarbrough hasn't been great this year. Yarbrough's numbers are a little disappointing. 7-3, 4.12 ERA, 0.99 whip. So his whip is low. 44 Ks, 9 walks. I do think of him as a top-level guy. All right, let's take a quick look at what we'd be dealing with the Rays -1.5, -135. It's just ugly stuff. Von Polo says, Tampa Bay has never seen this pitcher before. I think he has some filthy stuff. The Orioles always hang around anyway. They really get blown up. I'm on the Orioles run line and the money line. And Von Polo said, the Orioles made me a ton of money on Friday and Saturday. I feel you. Christopher Clementine says, how do you bet the Orioles Rays -2? Well, you don't. That's the answer. You don't. You'd have to take them on the run line. You don't take them at -270. Okay. Let's go with money lines and totals, and let's just move on at this point. I don't know if I want to take a big favorite with the Rays right now. And the Orioles do feel good about themselves. Guru Sports Bet says Yarbrough is bad. I wouldn't take Rays run line. There's Greatest Ever in the house. All right, let's move on to Brewers Reds. Hauser at Molly. It'd be great if we could get through 3 more games and then talk Argos Rough Riders. If we could talk about every game on the card before Drew comes on, because Drew's studying CFL. Dion Davis says, Rays win this one. I don't care. They're going to go on a streak of at least 5 games. I feel like it's time for them to streak. Mark True says Stanek on the mound, though. Stanek will be there for 5 outs. You know, if you're lucky. I mean, Stanek is the opener. And he's done well this year. 0-1, 2.76 ERA, 1.14 whip, 45 2/3, 50 Ks, 18 walks, 3 homers. But it's Yarbrough is going to have the bulk of innings. And Ben Sports 24/7 says not touching Orioles. Tampa Bay is a play. Pie Guy says maybe Orioles 1.5. Maybe the Orioles early. Okay, let's roll on to this Brewers Red spot. Hauser, Molly. Hauser has good numbers this year, but he's not handled the opening spot well. He's handled it poorly. This will be the 4th time he's done it. He's allowed 8 runs and 15 hits. He's a 9 ERA in his first 3 opportunities. In his last start against Seattle, 3 runs on 4 hits and 2 innings through 64 pitches. Dave Burke says Brewers first half here, putting the house on Hauser. Interesting, Dave. Interesting. Brewers have not scored more than 4 runs in their last 6 games. I mean, it's tough to trust this offense. Berkey liking these Brew Crew. Molly 0-3 with a 4.64 ERA in his last 4 outings since beating Washington on May 31st. Molly last pitched Tuesday in a 5-1 loss to the Angels. You know, he struggles on the road, but he's back home. Molly's 0-1 with a 2.53 ERA and 2 career starts against Milwaukee. Eddie Euler leaning Brew Crew. 1-1 Wolf liking Toronto or Tampa Bay alternative run lines. It says book it. Or run, I guess you mean -2.5, Wolf. Joe Kim betting 2 and under 1.5 in both noon African Nations Cup games. It's in Cairo. It's 93 degrees. Thank you, Joe. That's great. Viper MB says Brewers are off. Gary Horvath also liking the under. John Garcia says Thames is heating up. Stormino says Hauser's been much better at home. Don Corleone says that under has crazy value, Jimmy. Wow, Dave LA going for a good plus 120. No run. First inning. Ben Sports 24/7 is not trusting Hauser. Says Molly is the pitcher to back in this spot. Eddie Orr says Brewers unders 5 in a row. Alex Ramirez in the house. Love seeing that. Reds are 14-23 to the under at home. Let's take a quick look at the market move in this spot. Milwaukee, Cincinnati. Opened at 10 even money now. The 10 is juice, so an 8-cent move towards the over. Cincinnati opened as the favorite. They still are, but a 2-cent move towards the Brewers. Top Set says I like that under in Brewers first 5. Optimus Prime says give me under in that Milwaukee Cincinnati spot. Let's see. Let's go to the first 5 under that Dave Burke is looking at. Minus 105 is the best line. It's a bookmaker and 5 dimes. And this total, wow, it was at 6. Pinnacle still hanging at 6. Pinnacle still hanging that at 6. Pinnacle thinks there's going to be offense. Pinnacle thinks there's going to be offense. Tormino says, I don't trust either pitcher. I'd lean first 5 over. Astute chaos in the house. Don Corleone saying Brewers are not hitting. Okay. We'll talk more about these spots with Drew, but right now I have made no moves. Do I make a move right here? Angels at Rangers. 88 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, 11 miles per hour in. Wow, Dave LA, team to score first, Rays at minus 130. I'm taking that. Wow, that's an interesting look on the Rays game. So all they have to do is get through that first inning with Stanek, who should be able to do that. Jorge, don't play in the house. And the Stu Chaos liking that over 10.5 in KC Toronto. Wow, sorry. Let me just quickly pull up my book and see what I'm getting here. Here we go. Oh, sorry. I've made the chat too big. Okay, that's fine. I can figure out. Okay, let's just see what that no score first inning or Ray score first, is a nice look. That way you're taking a huge favorite to a small favorite. All right, let's go quickly here. Here we go. Sorry, you guys. Quickly just going to see if that sounds like a very, very shrewd play by Dave. Let's go score first. Where is it? First team to score. Mine's at minus 155, Dave. Mine's at minus 155, but I like it. Okay. All right, minus 155. I just don't know if I'm going to take it. Okay, let's keep rolling. Let's keep rolling along. Eddie always says, I like Texas quite a bit in San Diego as well. Paco Ely saying Texas run line. DJ Big Boss says fading Angels in Texas. Christopher Comentini says, don't Angels hit lefties? They have started to hit lefties. There's no doubt about that. Jose Suarez, 2-1, 5.57 ERA, 1.48 whip, 21 innings, 19 Ks, 9 walks. 9 walks in 21 innings. In Salt Lake City, he's 2-0 with a 3.18 ERA, 1.27 whip, 28 Ks and 28 and a third, and again, 15 walks. That's not good. Ron Crawford has Texas at 71%. That makes sense to me. Mike Minor, 8-4, 2.40 ERA. Just found out he's going to be playing in his first All-Star game. Angels are hitting 241, 730 OPS versus lefties. Remember, it was much lower earlier in the season. Rangers are hitting 230, 708 OPS versus lefties. They don't hit them hard. But this might be an easy lefty to hit. Viper MB on Rangers -1. Let's take a look. Before we break it down more, let's take a look at what we'd be getting in this market move. Let's go full game. Money lines. That's a high number. Texas opening at -135. There's been a 5-cent move towards them. The total opens at 10. It's now at 10.5. Starting to like Viper MB's Rangers first or -1. I also think they get after it early. Minor's coming off the second complete game of the season. That makes me a little uncomfortable. Why don't we see what Minor did after his first complete game of the season? That will give us an idea of how he'll handle this one. Here we go. Mike Minor. Go to game logs quickly, and here we go. After his first complete game, I guess it was an 8-inning complete game because it was at home. Sorry, let me get there. Oh, no, it wasn't. It was versus the Angels. And he came back and had a bad start at Oakland. How much does a complete game take out of you? But, I mean, it was only 103 pitches. So, I mean, he's pitched more. So, you know what? He's pitched way more lots of times this year. It was just a 103 pitch complete game against these very Angels. 3 hits he allowed. 2 walks, 7 Ks. He completely shut that down. Now, this is a different team. This team has Upton. This team has Ohtani. Dave L.A. says, I want to fade my Angels, but I did not like the opening line for the Rangers. Also, they have injuries in their lineup. I'm staying off. Ken Peacock taking Ivory Coast half-time, full-time, and Ivory Coast -1. Interesting. DJ Big Boss says, which teams that did good in June will suck in July? Ken Peacock on Morocco Moneyline. There's Jerry Beatty in the house. Eddie Oilers says -1 each of his last 3 starts, including complete game victory on Wednesday. And Rich G says minus pitch 8 plus innings 3 of his last 4 starts. And Ken Peacock also on Blue Jays -1 on Canada Day. A. Healy's on the Rangers money line. Well, I would still like the Rangers early. I'd still like the Rangers early. Lanil says, what's up with Miami? Miami is a go. And it's soon, hopefully we'll tell you today that everything is confirmed with the hotel. I want to tell you so badly that it's confirmed. That it's a dope spot. But we're hours away. I can't do it yet. Guru Sportsbet says Rangers first 5 and full game run line. You know, I like that. Let's see what we get on Rangers first half. Interesting that Dave is off of it, though. Wind blowing in. All the Rangers need to do is get men on base. So you'd have to take the Rangers first half -0.5. Rangers did just travel from Tampa. I mean, it is a little trickier than it looks. I mean, you would think that they'd be bigger favorites. Okay, I'm leaning towards Rangers first 5 -0.5 and full game -1. Christopher Comentini says, is Suarez an opener or a regular starter? You know, I guess I don't really know. I mean, if you look at Suarez in the past, let's bring up his game log. All right, we're going to bring up game log right now. Suarez. Oh, sorry. One more over. Here we go. Jose Suarez. In the show. Oh, shit. What's going on? Sorry. Okay. In the show, you know, he's not an opener. He's going to try to go 5. Against Seattle, he went 4 2/3. At Tampa, went 5 2/3. And at Toronto, he went 5. He's not a bad pitcher. You know, I'm starting to think that the under is going to be in play. DJ Big Boss says, what traditions do y'all do on Candidate? You know, we just smoke a lot of Chiba Chiba. We drink heavily. We have barbecues. We slap ass. That's about it. Nothing special. Well, Mr. Clark says, as of now, Texas getting 82% of the bets, but only 40% of the money, 41% of the money. Yeah, you know, you would think if the Rangers were at home and they had their all-star game pitcher on the mound, their ace, who is coming off a complete game, that they would be -170. You know, that's it. Thank you for sharing that, Mr. Clark. I don't know if I'm going to. This was the obvious play to make. There's Arthur Meade Jr. in the house. Thank you for joining us. And he always says, watch CFL and drink Molson or Kokanee. Eric Rosa says, sounds like a day in Duluth. Yes, it does. DJ Big Boss says, oh, okay, I can do that here in Cali in celebration, y'all. Yeah, thank you. We'd love that. All right, we're going to be bringing in our guy, Drew Martin here. But I think that the unders are now more appealing. You know, Suarez has fine stuff, and the Rangers don't. Look, they're hanging a 6.5. They're hanging a 6.5. First 5. I know that the 11 miles per hour in doesn't matter because it's Arlington. Douglas Robinson says Texas team total over. You know, all right, I'm definitely leaning towards the under, but it's gone up a half run. Let's see when it did that at Pinnacle. It just did that. It did that an hour ago. Went from 6 to 6.5. But it was always at minus 119. So I guess it didn't take much to move that. Guru Sports Bet says that's the bet, Jimmy. First 5 under. Yeah, I think you're right. Guru. Hey, man, if Guru says that's the bet, guys hit 8 straight plays of the day. Jay Yim, really? They picked up Spezza? Let him go back to Ontario? He can't be a fourth-line center. I mean, under the traditional fourth-line model, I should say. Wow. That's wild, Jay. Yeah, okay. I'll take the first 5 under 6.5 in Texas. First 5. You know, Suarez's numbers in AAA have been good. All right, there's my first play of the day. First 5 under 6.5. You can still get 6s. There's 6s at plus 100 around. But I'm going to take the 6.5 at minus 118 at Pinnacle. All right. There's my first action of the day. Okay. So we have some leans, and then we have the Giants-Padres game to talk, and the Argos at Rough Riders. But we have time. No need to rush anything. So let's bring in our guy, who you can party with, too, if you come down to Miami with us for the Low Bag Summit of Champions, Hustle and Flow Bag, August 18th to 25th. Our guy, Drew Martin, in the house. Drew, how you doing on this Monday morning?
Jimmy, I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on. Happy Monday morning to you. And more importantly, happy Canada Day to you, man. Great neighbors to the north, you yourself, and many of the watchers out there who's ever celebrating it. Happy Canada Day, and hopefully you can find some winners, man.
Drew, I know that you've stopped talking now, and but we had a sound issue. So I'm just guessing. You said, Jimmy, it's Canada Day. You must have the blunt twisted. You must be ready to celebrate with your nation, the nation of NBA champions, and how much you love Canadians. Is that how you opened?
That's pretty much how it went. Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now, my man. Man, I love having you on this show. I love starting the week with you as our first guest each and every week here, Drew. And we have a nice small card, but I also want to talk CFL with you. I have opened the season 5-2 in CFL. Let's get to work. Let's get to baseball immediately. What are you looking at on this card?
I got a couple spots here picked out. 3 games I'm interested in. 2 games as of right now I've placed bets on. So I guess can start with LA Angels, Texas Rangers. I think I heard you talking about it right before I came on. And you know, feel free to jump in when I'm done. But I have already placed a bet on Texas minus 135 at home. Actually minus 131 right before, but it did tick up to minus 135 right before I jumped on here. And Suarez going for the Angels. You know, he's been all right, but control issues, Jimmy. I mean, 4.76 walks per 9 in AAA, finding the strike zone, especially for young guys making the, you know, kind of the jump up here to MLB in their early starts here. I really watch out for that, because if you can't have command in the minors, it's rare that you find it in the majors. So looking to kind of fade that. Also, his home run rate per 9. It was a great article on SBR Picks, actually, pointing it out as well. 2.57 home runs per 9 at the major league level. And that kind of all coincides together, you know, not finding the strike zone and his command not being there, leaving the ball over the middle of the plate. Major league hitters really using that to their advantage and hitting home runs. Also on the other side, Mike Minor, you know, the all-star now, 5-0, the team, his last 5 starts. Only 2 earned runs his last 2 games over 17 innings. And I know the Angels are really righty heavy. So going up against the lefty, you would think that it would be the advantage towards the Angels. But he's a fastball changeup guy, so he's almost got reverse splits here, and he's been really good. I think he's been really good at home too. Texas plus 18 units year to date at home. So I think Texas, it's buy low here, minus 135 at home. I'm on Mike Minor in Texas.
But why is it buy low, Drew? You have the ace of your staff who's pitching the All-Star game on the mound against a team who's using a AAA starter out of Salt Lake. Why is it not minus 165, minus 170? Is it because the Rangers are traveling from Tampa? It's because the Rangers have lost a few games in a row? It's because the Rangers don't hit lefties hard? Why is it such a nice price?
I think it's the handedness of the starter, and I think that's a big deal. Yeah, I mean, the traveling from Tampa and losing a couple games in a row, bettors jumping off the Texas Rangers of late. But I don't think the market's kind of focusing in here on the command for the opposing pitcher and, putting base runners on here in Texas. It's a hitter's bandbox. So that's what you don't want to do is walk people. It's almost like Colorado, walks kill way more than a normal baseball park. So I could see that happening tonight. And it's a 1-unit play. If you like the other side, if you like the Angels here, they do have a really good lineup. Trout, Ohtani, I think 2 of the top 5 players in baseball in the same lineup. It is something to like, no doubt about it. I just think there's more pointing towards Texas here, and we get them under minus 140. Not a big favorite. They are at home, so I think Texas is the side here for 1 unit.
I hear you. It's Texas or nothing. It's Texas or nothing. I'm not making a case for the Angels, but I came in here expecting to make these plays with the Rangers, and I just feel uncomfortable. Guru Sportsbet says when you get these low lines, something to avoid. Look at when Cubs were minus 110, Jimmy. Took them and got it. Yeah, I took them first 5 in full game. Those were 2 of my losses on Friday, and it stung because I had some okay stuff. Sorry, let's just grab this again. Sorry. On Friday, so I lose the Sunday nighter, but on Friday, I had the St. Louis, San Diego first 5 under 5 with Big Boss. I had the Padres. I had the Pirates at plus 145. I had Washington, Detroit first 5 under 6. Rangers at plus 121. I'm just handing out, those are win. But I end up losing a bit on the day because I have Cubs first 5, Cubs full game. Phillies at minus 138. Astros on the run line. And then the Diamondbacks, disappointing. Okay, sorry, I digress up. Okay. I hear that, and it just makes sense. Eddie Oler says Pinnacle just moved Texas to minus 148. So Texas getting hammered now. Something just doesn't feel right. So I did make a move. I took the first 5 under 6.5 at minus 118. We see what happens when we see these Texas bats smash everybody and then slow down against lefties. The whole league was destroying Snell, and then Snell goes up against these Texas bats, and Snell looks like an ace again. I guess I'm going to just wait on it at this point. So I have the first 5 under 6.5 minus 118, and that's my only play at the moment. Drew, let's keep rolling. What else are you looking at?
Yeah, and you make some good points. I mean, the handedness of the pitcher is a big deal. One of the most important things I look at, but it's just in this scenario, I like Mike Minor a lot more than Suarez in command issues from a young pitcher going into a hitter's ballpark. I do think that there's something there, but either way, I got 1 unit on Texas, minus 131, minus 135. I thought you could still get before the show, but we got Cubs, Pittsburgh here. Trevor Williams on the hill for Pittsburgh. He went on the DL. He hit the DL, and since he's gone back, I love this, finding change. When guys go on the DL, they come back to the major leagues. He's had 2 starts, given up 11 runs and 17 hits. Talking about Williams, starting pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I'm fading that. I like the Cubs today. We can get him almost around a pick 'em. Minus 115 is what I got it at. And he had 46 Ks in only 32 innings in AAA. He's mowing down those level of batters, and he's 24 years old. He's been solid in a couple MLB appearances. So it's always kind of a question mark here. Same thing we were talking about with Suarez making the step up. There could be volatility, but he has performed well at this level so far in the limited appearances and at the AAA level. I mean, the strikeouts are there. I could see that making the carryover here. I think it's going to be a long night for the Pittsburgh lineup, and just really a fade on Williams even more so here. We found the change in him going on the DL. I still don't think he's right. If he doesn't have a good performance tonight, I could see him heading back to the DL. So this could be a free unit here. And I'm trying to take advantage. So I got the Cubs minus 115 tonight, Jimmy.
So both your looks were the first looks that I was going to jump on this card. And after sitting with this for a little bit longer, I got cold feet on both the plays. And the first, I was going to hammer for sure Cubs first 5, and then I kind of talked myself a bit out of it. Cubs, I've lost 5 straight road series. They're 16-23 on the road, and the Pirates are starting to win baseball games. And what concerns me is that I know that Trevor Williams will get it together at some point. He's coming off the IL. Now he's back home. Where I'd be very curious to see where Trevor's 2 starts were when he came back. Let me just quickly grab that because he has great numbers historically against the Cubs, and the Cubs bullpen can't be trusted. And I know the Pirates are coming off a low-scoring game, but their offense was great in June. Let's just see those 2 starts where it was at home against Detroit, and he got torched, and then at Houston, and he looked a little bit better.
Keep in mind that Houston lineup isn't the Houston lineup, of a month ago. So that Houston lineup isn't exactly on fire right now.
No, I hear you. It's just that I'm down 20 plus units over the season, and I guess what I'm doing is those plays that I was going to make for sure, I'm just taking more time with. I guess that's what I'm saying. Also, Nut Flush Allen's been studying what left-handed hitters are doing at PNC Park, and they're smashing. They're smashing the ball. So he's very, very, very interested in the over in this game because of how these left-handed batters are just smashing. What do you feel about a total in this Cubs-Pirates game?
As we inch up here towards 10 in the National League, I always kind of get a little hesitant and start to pump the brakes. I will say, 9.5, I think that both of the advantages here are on each team's lineup. I could see Pittsburgh putting up some crooked numbers, and I do think the Cubs will put up crooked numbers. So, I always find it tough to bet National League overs, meaning they have to score 10 runs for your over to hit. But if you made me bet the total, I would be on the over of 9.5.
And I think that Nut Flush Allen is ahead of the market here with what these left-handed batters are doing. Big Ragoo says overs are in play at PNC. I totally understand your play on the Cubs. I completely understand it. But I'm going to make a bit of a different move. I'm going to go with Nut Flush, and I'm going to go with these overs here, over 9.5. I'm getting minus 105 at 5 dimes, and I'm going to lock that play in right now. I'm just trying to do things a little differently than I have been, because when I go over my plays the following day, like when I went over those plays here, it was the ones that we sat and broke down, and there was not paralysis by overanalysis. The overanalysis plays I've been cashing. It's the plays where I come in and I know I'm making, like the Cubs first 5 in full game on Friday. I knew I was going to take the KC Toronto over 9.5 on Friday. Those are the plays that are not. I knew I was going to take the Diamondbacks. Those plays lost. So I'm just going to try to do a little bit different here and see if the over-analyzing things kind of continues to provide results for me. So I'm taking the over 9.5 of minus 105, and Drew Martin is on the Cubbies. Christopher Clementine says, Pitt don't hit. Pitt led the league in batting average in June. I know they're not hitting with a ton of power, but Dickerson has changed that lineup. It's a gorgeous day, 85 Fahrenheit, mostly cloudy, very little wind. Greatest ever says CFL play, and we will get to that. Drew, I have one game left on the card that I haven't talked about, but if you want to lead the way in any of these games, feel free.
Sure, and I'll just add to your Pittsburgh, about their lineup. One thing that had me pumping the brakes was their weighted runs created numbers 118, 18 ticks over average the last 2 weeks. I love looking at that stat. So only the Mets, Red Sox, Padres, Dodgers, and Yankees lineups from those numbers are hotter over the last 2 weeks. Just two more games I'll throw out real quick. KC, Toronto. Not sure if you guys, I'm sure you guys have touched on it already. Sparkman versus Clayton Richard. Clayton Richard, since, man, I've been betting, he's got to be one of the least profitable starters in all of baseball. If you've been betting him over the last 5, 6, 7 years, you've definitely lost some money. I'd love to see the actual stats on that. So laying minus 140 to 145 right now on SBR odds. I know it's Canada Day, all that, Jimmy, and I'll throw it back to you. But I mean, it's Kansas City or pass for me in this one, man.
It's Kansas City or pass for me as well. And so I'm going to pass because Dave LA loves Jays reverse run line. Chris Postal on his birthday is like, look, I'm giving you guys a winner here with the Jays. Lamont Williams is on the other side. He's taking the Royals. Sparkman's so bad on the road. If Sparkman didn't have this crazy volatility of the home and road numbers, he's got a 2.19 ERA at home and 7.85 ERA on the road. And that was never more clear than that back-to-back starts against the Twins a week and a half ago where he gets torched at target, sees that dangerous Twins lineup 5 days later, and shuts them down 1 run over 7 innings. So Ray Williams is also on Royals money line. Ulysses Hayes is on the Toronto money line. Eddie Euler leaning Royals and over, and I'm just staying off of it. I don't want to. I need to have a nice week here leading into the All-Star break, and I just don't want to start with this game at this point. Would you make a move on the over if you had a free play on the total?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's what it was leading into is Sparkman's trouble on the road. Clayton Richard, I wouldn't bet him with your money, Jimmy, and especially laying minus 140. So I would look towards the over. American League, Canada Day might be wild. Should be good atmosphere in there. So I'm with you on the over. And also one other game I wanted to throw out in the NL Central, Milwaukee, Cincinnati here. Hauser is there was another article on SBR. I was scanning it, and guys, I definitely recommend it on SBR Picks. A good article here as far as Milwaukee's run differential. They're -4, but yet they're tied in first place in the NL Central. I thought that was kind of interesting. Also, Hauser, he's a starter, reliever, kind of mixology here, and opponents' batting average against him as a starter is 405, over 400 batting average, and when he comes in relief, it's only 183, under 200. So that would tell me to fade him today because he is starting. I doubt he'll go long. It's not necessarily an opener, but maybe 2 to 4 innings is all I would expect. So Milwaukee's bullpen will be at play here. And also, Josh Hader is available. He's only thrown 16 pitches over the weekend, so he should be there. And for Cincinnati, this team is fighting hard, man. They got a lot of guys that like Puig, Derek Dietrich. These guys play hard. I'll give them that. The run differential is almost 40, +40 here, and they're in last place in the NL Central. So I think betting Cincinnati in the near future is something, I got them circled to kind of look to bet on right now. So Cincinnati looking to bet on. And out of all of these stats, it was pointing towards the over, and having it at 10 here, Jimmy. We got Milwaukee, Cincinnati, kind of hitters ballpark, both lineups looking good. But when we start talking double digits in the National League with 2 top 10 bullpens for my numbers, it's enough to keep me off of betting this over as well. So I just wanted to throw out those stats and looking towards the over, but enough there to I just passed on it, man.
Yeah, I have not made a move on it. My man Dave Berkey's on the putting big on the Brewers' first 5, and we know that Matt Randall is on the full game. That's the taint play of the day, Brewers full game. Brewers bats have just been quiet. I'm going to spend a little bit more time. We're going to be able to deep dive on these games again on the Late Show. Okay, we got to get to work, and it's funny. You think, oh man, 6 baseball games, 1 CFL game. We're going to get this game or get this show in time, but it's still, we've gone long, but we have too much to talk about. We got to keep rolling. Giants, Padres, we haven't got to this game yet, Drew. Samardzija versus Logan Allen. I've had, God, it's been a difficult season. But one thing I've been able to do, and I did this with Tanner Anderson of the A's, was say, look, Logan Allen, first start in his career, he has his parents, family in the crowd, and it's magic. This is a guy with the over 5 ERA PCL, and we know how those guys are difficult to figure out exactly how they're going to play in the MLB in comparison to, a mudhead, and you have a better idea what he's going to look like in the show. So Logan Allen has 2 great starts, and I think it comes to an end here. I do not believe in Logan Allen. I don't think he's a top-level pitcher, and I think he gets touched now. I think he gets touched now in his 3rd start in the show. Now we have a little bit of tape on him. I know the Giants don't hit lefties at all, 222, 628 OPS, but I just have a feeling that Logan Allen's fun will come to an end. And that's the only thing that's keeping me off the Padres, and it's going to keep me off the Padres. In fact, it's either going to keep me off the Padres or get me on the Giants and Jeff Samardzija. Samardzija, 8-3 record against the Padres, but if you look at what he's done at Petco, he's awesome. 4-2, 2.44 ERA, 0.94 WHIP. I feel like Allen's about to get touched. DJ Big Boss says San Diego, San Francisco, first 5 under. Paco Healy says Padres money line no-brainer, but run line is a question. So I guess I need to hear more from you guys, because I've seen this too many times. These PCL pitchers come up and have a good couple starts and then get touched. And that's what I'm thinking could happen here. Have you broken down this Giants-Padres game at all?
Yeah, I mean, the Giants struggling against lefties, something I worry about. Also, last 2 weeks, weighted runs created number only 80. They're not seeing it real well. And in the Padres, you could make the argument a top 5 lineup in terms of their last 2 weeks, how they're seeing the ball. So a couple things pointing towards the Padres for me in this one. You bring up Samardzija performing well in Petco. I'd be interested, because I didn't break that part down, Jimmy. Do you know how far back that was? Like, was that just, this year and last year, or is that, from back in his heyday?
Well, I'd have to go over his game logs more, but he overall has good record against Padres. 8-3, 3.46 ERA, 1.163 WHIP, 239 opponents batting average in 18 games, 16 starts. So we're talking 104 innings against the Padres. Now, I know this is much different Padres lineup, but a lot of these guys love the mound at Petco. A lot of these older guys love the mound there and excel there, and he's one of them. But I'd have to go over more stuff. Eddie Euler saying Samardzija 4 straight non-quality starts. Ulysses A saying Padres blew that game yesterday. Think Giants could get the win. Look, I'm going to take the Giants here. I'm going to spend a little more time on it. But it's already been a 3-cent move towards the Giants, and everybody's talking Padres. Eddie Lawrence says Mark Lawrence also picked Padres today. I just have a feeling that Logan Allen, that magic runs out in Major League Baseball, and I think it will here. But we are running out of time, and I want to talk CFL. Let me go to Logan Allen's first 2 starts here. Let's just go over them, because I watched the one with his dad in the crowd, his family. I mean, it was magical what he was doing. And he's at home against Milwaukee, and Milwaukee's bats were asleep, but he shut them down. 7 innings, 3 hits, 2 walks, 5 Ks. Then at Baltimore, and he looks a little weaker. 8 hits, 6 innings. You know what? The Giants are going to get to him. The Giants are going to get to Logan Allen. Logan Allen is not – this is a perfect gambling situation. Now, I could be totally wrong, and going up against Mark Lawrence is dangerous. I'm going to take the Giants' first 5 here, and I think we're going to see big regression from Logan Allen, and that he won't be a starting pitcher for the Padres in a month. He'll be back in AAA, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm just going to take him first half, because this Padre, I want to focus on just Logan Allen. That's who I'm fading here. I'm getting plus 149 at Bookmaker. Giants' first 5. Here we go. Giants' first 5. At plus 145. And I'm going to book it. Okay. Guru says Padres will absolutely crush Samardzija. That was a different Samardzija in the past. He will have one more good start against this lineup, Jimmy, and then regress. We'll see. I just think that there's a reason why everybody's saying Padres, and it's the money line slowly moving towards the Giants. I just think Logan Allen gets touched. Okay, let's go. And I didn't expect it to be popular. Okay, let's go to Argos at Rough Riders. the record small sample size, Rafa, but could you pop it up? There it is, 5-2 on a little bit of a streak. Started out 1-1, and I should be 6-1. Losing on the Ticats first half in that first game of the season was a joke when Fajardo came in, and I thought for sure I was going to cash this when Caleros got hurt. Okay, so I'm going to quickly touch on this, and let's see if Drew's... We'll talk about it with Drew in a second. So, Rough Riders, first home game of 2019. We know it's going to be a madhouse. We know the CFL's only alive because of the great people in Saskatchewan. Argonauts have won only 3 road games in their last 24 contests away from BMO. They were 0-9 on the road last season. They're coming off a 64-14 loss at home versus the Tiger Cats. Franklin got destroyed. Franklin's not as bad as he looked in that game. 16 of 26, a pick. He only completed 4 passes in that preseason. And then the Argos got that week 1 bye, which is historically very bad for teams in the CFL. 287 yards of offense, 16 first downs. James Wilder Jr. is supposed to be their big weapon. And if Franklin isn't throwing, if he's not scaring you at all, they're just going to pack the box and ensure Wilder does nothing. He was held to 12 yards. Durrell Walker was their big acquisition in the offseason. He got 67 yards, which was not enough. Now, this is a big thing that's happening is Ryan Bomben is coming back from the injured list. 4-time league all-star. He is an important piece to that offensive line for the Argos. He's going to help enormously. And then we have Fajardo. This Argos team's going to have a much easier time. And is Fajardo going to handle the pressure of playing at home in that huge giant crowd that's going bonkers? Is he going to be able to handle that? He still does not have Emmanuel Arsenault. They still don't have Solomon Eliminian. So Eddie Oilers Saskatchewan team total over, and I'm actually very close to leaning towards taking unders in this game. Let's see what the full game is right now. Opens at 53.5. It's now 51.5. I just don't think these teams are going to be moving the ball. Rod Sawaki says Rod's 10-star play of the day under 51.5. Last year, game total was set at 49. Total set at 49, and they got 46. What do you think about this game? Have you looked at it at all?
Yeah, I mean, I've looked at it a little bit, and I always kind of compare to college football. I'm not necessarily a CFL expert by any means, but when there's a team that's winless, so 0-2, 0-3 in college football, and they're laying double digits in that spot, that's usually a sign, man. The market is telling you something about this Toronto Argonauts. See, I've never really been a fan of James Franklin going back to his Missouri days. I've thought he was overrated. Saskatchewan being at home, from everything I've heard, from the games I've seen, that's a wild atmosphere. On Canada Day, it should be a raucous crowd there. Toronto has not shown any signs of being alive, any signs of winning a game, even covering a point spread. So I'm pointing towards the favorite here. I like Saskatchewan -10 if you can find it. Looks like 10.5 mostly across the board. But I think the favorite wins and covers going away.
That would not surprise me, but the jury's out on Fajardo. And I am going to take the under. I think the Rough Riders take care of business, but I expect them to do it defensively. I think this is good for the Argos to lose by 50 points. It's a huge wake-up call to the coaching staff, the new coaching staff. I think that this is going to be an under spot. I'm going to take the under 51.5. Under 51.5, I'm getting -107 at 5 dimes. Under 51.5. At -107. And damn, I wish I was 6-1. I should be 6-1. But I'll take 5-2. I want to have Jonathan Succi says correction over in that game. I just don't see Fajardo shining, and I think Franklin will have a better game. And if those two things happen and the Argos feel good being down 10 points, then they will have no problem turning it to a special teams contest. I hear you, Jonathan Succi. I hear that you like the over, but I'm going to take the under 51.5 at -107. And are you making an official play on this game?
Yeah, I'll make it my CFL career first official play. Saskatchewan minus 10.5. I'll jump on it, Jimmy. And you bring up Cody Fajaro. I look back to his Nevada days. I was always a big fan. I think he's actually underrated going into his professional career. A dual threat guy. I hope that he can show his legs as well. And James Franklin, on the other hand, like I said, man, I just think he's an overrated player. And Saskatchewan, winless, laying double digits. I think the market's telling us something. So yeah, my first CFL play, man. Canada Day, Saskatchewan minus 10.5.
It's going to be a madhouse, an absolute madhouse there in Regina. Like just absolutely bonkers, nuts. The stuff, they're all going to be in green. They're all going to be hammered from drinking all day. It's going to be a wild one. Ken Peacock says Babano is also on the under. And Jonathan, my man Jonathan, was talking about the Iceland play. Beautiful. Drew, thank you so much for joining us. Sorry that we went long today. How did we go long with 7 games, man? I apologize. Rafa, I apologize. I know Rafa takes the heat for me when I go long. So, Rafa, I apologize for the heat you're going to take. Big Ragoose on the under, first half, 27. I see that. I absolutely see that as early, because we've seen that. I was on the under in that last game on Friday, and it was we expected the total got up to 58 and then was going down to about 57.5 when I jumped on it, and it was 0-0 after the first quarter. And we know that Ty Cat's offense is very, very strong, so that might be a better spot than mine right now, the first half under Ragu, but I'll just take the full game under. I'll take the full game. Sorry, Drew, we got to bounce, man. Thank you so much for joining us. Let us know where we can find you on Twitter, what shows you got coming up this week.
Yeah, at Drew Martin Bets on Twitter. I'll be back tomorrow about 11:45 a.m. Eastern. Come join me. Also doing college football videos starting this week on the SBR YouTube channel. And we got the closing line on Saturdays, 11 a.m. Eastern. Jimmy, shout out to you, man. CFL record. That's awesome. 5-2, even though it should have been 6-1. CFL, a beatable sport, guys. Definitely recommend it. Check it out on SBR and follow Jimmy's plays, because I think it's a beatable sport and a guy that knows it. Happy Canada Day to you, Jimmy, and I'll talk to you tomorrow, buddy.
Much love to you. And let's finish the show with our guy, Il Wise. Il Wise says, hey, Jimmy, long time, bro. Been so busy with my trucking school. Haven't watched a vid from you guys in 2 months, but I'm back today to place a bet. Angels money line plus money. Good to see your consistency on the channel. Love it, bro, from Florida. Il Wise, we're going to Miami. We're taking the show on the road August 18th to 25th to Miami, Il-Wise, and we want to party with you and all our guys. How many great guys we have, from Antoine Seymour, Cuban Connect. We have so many guys down there that I can't wait to hang out with. Mr. Fat Fist, Big Ragu, Captain Sasan. There's so many guys. I didn't know how many cappers that we had down in Miami, so join us. Trenton Claxton. There's going to be so many of us. We got a dope hotel on the beach. Sorry I've gone long. Happy Canada Day to all you Canadians. Good luck if you're on that opener with the Royals, Jays. I am staying off. Oh, and sorry, my action. I'm on the under 51.5 minus 107 in the CFL game today. And then I'm on the Cubs Pirates over 9.5, backed by Ragu and Nut Flush Statistics. And then I'm on the first 5 under 6.5 and Angels at Rangers. Much love to you guys. Have yourselves a great afternoon. Let's catch you guys on the Late Show. Leche! Hey, those bookmakers!